Hey guys, in this video, it's going to be a lot less edited. I want to try this new format where I'm just going to speak more directly to you and give as much value and as much tips as possible. Today, I'm going to talk about the Fiverr algorithm and specifically 3 keys that are essential to understand if you want to rank well. Because most people actually don't understand the Fiverr algorithm. They don't understand why some people can go first page while others go to the last page. And sometimes people try to trick the algorithm and get some fake reviews or use other people's accounts to make each other orders. Like, that just doesn't work. The first big tip is you have to understand that the goal of Fiverr is to optimize their long-term income. And the only way they can optimize long-term income is by increasing their conversion rate, which means how many people buy from them out of their visitors, and at the same time, maximize the amount of returning visitors to Fiverr. So essentially, if you make a Fiverr a better place for people to come buy services, you will blow up. Too many people see Fiverr as an opportunity to take buyers, to keep them, and to kind of trick the algorithm to get orders. And you shouldn't see it like this. You should see it as you being a promoter of the platform. You have to think, how can I make this place a better way? And that brings me to my first point, is you have to be like a business. You have to think of your reputation, of what makes you different, what makes you special. And you have to understand that just because you sell your services or you do this and that, it doesn't make you special by itself. You need differentiation, you need to stand out, you need to build credibility, and it's all about being true to yourself and to Fiverr. Because if you really build a genuine business where you're passionate about what you do, not only will buyers be more satisfied, but Fiverr will immediately know that buyers are more satisfied than for other people, and they will keep sending you more people, right? Because a very important factor is the percentage of people who buy again on Fiverr. So let's say you have many orders coming in on your Fiverr gig and you don't get any reviews, but people go, they leave, and you still make your money. And then you don't get any orders anymore. And the reason for that is that many people came to your gig, they bought, and then they decided to not come back to the Fiverr platform because they were disappointed. Because the majority of buyers are actually people coming in and trying out Fiverr and being like, okay, I'll give it a shot, and are usually disappointed and leave. On the other hand, if you build a great reputation for Fiverr and you have people coming back to your gig, but also to the platform itself, you will be promoted extremely well. And at the same time, too many people neglect like the actual core of your business, which is your service, which is what you do. I see so many of you putting like expert or professional service provider, but in reality, you're not that good and you don't realize it yet. And you have this image of you of, thinking you're an expert, but no, you have to look at the market. You have to look at what other people are doing, but also what buyers are expecting. And if you're not getting any orders, a big chance of why that is that your service is just not as good. And not only the service itself, but how well it's perceived by the buyers and other people. Like credibility, you can't lie about credibility. It's something innate, it's energy, right? If you're credible and your service is really good and you really focus on having the best service on the market, you will get orders. This is just the law of energy and how things work, right? So if you're not getting orders and you spent months like waiting, try to focus back on making your service better, on becoming better, on perfecting your skill, on becoming an actual expert at what you do, but also continuously learning over and over again. The second point is more practical. It's mastering the CTR and the conversion rate. So what is the CTR? It's the percentage of people who click on your gig when Fiverr showcases it on the platform. And that indicates to Fiverr that people are attracted by your gig and your offer. And that is a great signal. So if your CTR is low, you're just not going to get orders. But what matters most is also the conversion rate. So out of these people who clicked on your gig, how many people are going to buy? And this doesn't only matter because you're going to get more orders, it matters for the Fiverr algorithm itself, right? If people are not clicking, why would Fiverr show your gig? And many things play into that, which is the quality of your thumbnail, the quality of your title, how special it is, how much you can differentiate yourself from other buyers. but also your positioning and your offer in general. If you don't have a good offer that tailors to what people won't click on your gig. And then if you're not clear about your offer, a lot of people will click on your gig, but they won't buy, so your conversion rate will be very, very low. So to optimize these 2 points, the CTR and the conversion rate, you want to go back to the fundamentals of your business. Why am I special? What can I focus on? Where should I niche? And what is the actual thing that people want that I can provide? Choose a sub-industry. Don't just say, I will make logos. Choose a specific type of design and become the best at doing this type of design. Don't do any type of web apps. Choose a specific type of web app like building CRMs and become the better at this. So yeah, the only thing you have to make sure when you choose a niche is that there's enough traffic for that specific niche, right? So go on Fiverr, see how many orders people are getting. And if they're getting a large amount of orders, then you know the market is there and that you should niche down. And then you have to build credibility and show that you're a reliable freelancer. Because in general, what you don't understand as a freelancer is people value their time more than their money. I see many of you putting very, very low prices, thinking that people will just buy because it's so cheap that why wouldn't they buy it? And the reality is time is even more valuable than money. And so when you become too cheap, you signal to the buyer that you're a risky option. And so the buyer is not going to take the risk of wasting 2-3 days with you if he's not going to get something good. He'd much rather spend 10 times this and save time, potentially limiting his risk and making sure that he's going to get something on time. So make sure you remember this, that you have to be perceived as reliable. Show that you're always there. You're going to have great credibility with your buyers. And obviously another point is having an adequate offer, which means the specifics of your offer. So what type of files do you provide? What type of output do you have for your videos? Is it MP3? Is it MOV? And this is so important because actually people usually have an idea of what they need. And if they don't see it, they might go for one other buyer and they're not going to select you and they're not going to buy from you. So once you master your offer and you make sure you understand what your buyer actually wants, go back to your profile and optimize it. Right? You want an amazing thumbnail, which is clear, which conveys what you do, which really speaks to the buyer's dreams, right? So what is the buyer dreaming about? And if he dreams about getting a logo, what type of logo is he dreaming about? And me on my thumbnail, all I have is like this dream logo, this amazing logo that people want to get. When they see it, they immediately click and buy, right? Too many people just put a big text and then a face of someone, and it doesn't really much sense because nobody dreams about this. Nobody has a vision of that. Instead, you always want to show the visual aesthetic aspect of your service. Even if you're in web app or web development or websites, you want to show how beautiful your websites are because it's an image, right? It's something visual. So show that you're at the utmost of your game in terms of visuals, in terms of design, in terms of what people are actually going to see. Then you want to optimize your gig description and use that description to differentiate yourself further. See what people do on Fiverr. They always click on multiple gigs and have multiple tabs, and then they go through every seller and they choose who they prefer. And one of the big points of what they prefer once they've categorized you as being a potential perfect fit is they're going to read the gig description. And that gig description is going to be your it factor. It's the text that you need to perfect so that people will be convinced by what you do. It's the way, it's your sales letter to your buyer. What makes you special? How much do you care about your service? How good it's going to be? How fast it's going to be? And really focus more on providing these details, which makes you different, rather than just listing a bunch of things that you do, which actually most people don't care about. Of course, you can also use it to add details on your service, of course, but make sure you use this place as an opportunity to differentiate yourself even further and show how different you are. So point 3 is what I call the Fiverr algorithmic circle. So on top, you have the CTR, the conversion rate, and down there you have the service delivery. In the service delivery, what matters most in terms of the algorithm is going to be your private reviews. So that's a review that people do after the order. And really the crazy thing about this private review is that so many things go into getting that private review. You can't ask buyers for it. You can't send them a message to do that because Fiverr doesn't want you to know that private review. So the only thing you can do is use psychological tricks and just focusing on your service delivery in order to maximize how many people put that private review, because this is ultimately the most important metric on Fiverr. So what you want to do, for example, is not just deliver a service, but over deliver. And the biggest way of over delivering is to show passion, commitment, and communication. And by showing passion, commitment, and communication to your buyer, he's going to be blown away. It doesn't just matter of you doing a logo. He wants to feel that you cared about his business, about his product, about his service. That's going to create an emotion with him, and he's going to want to help you. And only when that happens, he's going to go and fill in that private review. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed these 3 very, very important tips. If you want to dig deeper into them and have all the details and all my knowledge over the years on Fiverr, I have a link down below so you can check it out and go see for yourself. So thanks all, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.